Hi guys, welcome back to the Astrology. Today we are going to be talking about the September month reading, and this is going to be a very interesting month. Difficult month as well, because we are going to be facing two eclipses, which is the lunar eclipse coming on around 7th of September, and then around 21st, 22nd of September we will find the solar eclipse coming as well. Now the lunar eclipse will be falling when moon comes in conjunction with Rahu in the sign of Aquarius, while the solar eclipse will come in place when moon will be conjunct with sun in the sign of Virgo around 21st of September. And both of these eclipses will be extremely crucial because they are going to be defining the way we are going to be approaching things. The lunar eclipse is going to be eclipsing our thought process, our decision making, our belief system, because Rahu is going to cast that shadow in your decision making as well. And depending on where this eclipse is happening in your chart, you will be affected accordingly. Whilst solar eclipse is going to be happening again with the conjunction of moon with sun, when moon is going to essentially eclipse over the sun, he is going to be falling right between the earth and the sun. But again, you will have to understand that this is going to be a partial solar eclipse, which is going to be happening in different parts of the world. Depending on what part of the world you are going to be watching this video from, you will have a respective impact as well as based on your zodiac signs. So, without further ado, what we are going to do now, we are going to look into some of the important dates that are going to be coming into picture in terms of transit and understand what's going to be meaning it for us. Now, guys, as you can see on your screen here, that Sun is currently in the sign of Leo until 15th of September. And then for the second half of the month, it is going to be transiting into the sign of Virgo. Now, Sun has been in its own Leo sign, but imagine it has been in difficult situation with its conjunction, with its collaboration with Ketu in the same house so far. Then Mercury is in Leo until 14th of September, and almost a day ahead it will advance into its sign of exaltation in the sign of Virgo from 15th of September onwards. So predominantly both Sun and Mercury are going to be remaining in the first half of the month in your Leo sign, and then they will together transit a day in difference into the sign of Virgo. Venus is in the sign of Cancer until September 14th, and it is going to come into the sign of Leo, where it will become conjunct with Ketu from September 14th onwards. Now, that is going to be very crucial, and we are going to analyze as to what sort of an impact we can anticipate there. Mars is in the sign of Virgo. It is there until September 12th, and from 13th onwards, it is going to be moving into the sign of Libra. Jupiter continues its presence in the sign of Gemini itself in Chatra. So that is a good bit that is happening there. And it is going to be in the sign of Gemini for the month of September. Remember, October is the time when it is going to be moving into its sign of exaltation. Saturn is continuing in its motion of retrogression, and it is in Pisces in Uttara Nakshatra. And the most important thing, guys, you have to understand here is that Saturn will be coming into deepest retrogression because it will be bang opposite to Sun as well from the second half of the month. So it will be getting into its deepest retrogression during the month of September, and that is where its impact becomes extremely crucial for all of us. Lots of things happening. Saturn getting into deep retrogression, two eclipses as I was addressing before, and then Rahu is in Purva Chatra of Jupiter itself in the sign of Aquarius, while it is coming out, in degrees. So it is coming out of its Bal Avastha. It is going to get a lot more strength in its itself. But the lunar eclipse is where it is going to cast its magic, and you have to be very sharp, shrewd in terms of understanding what sort of a impact it will have for you. And then Ketu, of course, is sitting in Pur Falguni nakshatra itself of Leo of Venus, which is where he will be becoming conjunct with Venus. So, guys, without further ado, we will now deep dive into your monthly reading and understand that what these transits are going to be impacting and how they are going to be impacting you for the course of the month. So, Libras, as you guys can see on your screen here, the lunar eclipse is going to be formed in your fifth house where Rahu is sitting in the sign of Aquarius. Bang opposite to it in the start of the month, you will have Sun, Mercury, and Ketu in your 11th house, whilst Venus is placed in your 10th. Mars is going to be in your 12th house, whereas your Yoga Karka planet Saturn is placed in retrograde motion in the 6th with Jupiter in the ninth. Now, folks, it's important for us to understand here that what sort of an impact can we observe with your 10th Lord Moon getting into this lunar eclipse in your fifth house. Now, be it Libra ascendant sign or from a Libra moon standpoint perspective as well, it is crucial for you to realize here that the impact of this eclipse is going to definitely come from a workforce front perspective, from your creativity front perspective. See, we are talking about the 10th house as well as the fifth house and where the aspects will be going, which is into your 11th house. So there is going to be some level of impact, some degree of impact that you are going to see at your work front. If you are a working person, if you are, self-employed, you are going to see some bit of a shadow, some certain degree of confusion creep in terms of your decision making as well. And it will be difficult for you to, pick up your choices. And that is why I have been calling this out for all the zodiacs between 6th of September to 10th of September. It may not be a bad idea for you to just push through any decision making because there will be a lot of cloud, haziness. And why? Rahu is gone in deeper into its degrees. It is gaining strength at this point in time. And during the point of this eclipse, you can anticipate Rahu's behavior of mysticism, confusion, fear, illusion coming into play. You could be confused with the sort of decision you have to make. There could be an impact not only on creativity but on your investment strategies as well, on the gains that you're trying to target. So if you are in a financial industry, a lot of Libra people I see are in those domains, or with respect to any kind of business entities and stuff. My humble recommendation to you folks would be that do not make any kind of major decisions here, any major investments during this point in time. In fact, throughout the course of the month of September, because we'll talk about the solar eclipse as well, which happens in your 12th house, in our house of expense. Now, you can definitely anticipate some bit of an impact in terms of your wish fulfillment tool, because there will be confusion with respect to your karmas, with respect to your work, career, profession, efforts. There is going to be impact in your decision making. There will be confusion in your thought process, and that will impact the outcomes for you as well. So it's a difficult period. It is challenging period for all of us, the month of September, because of its eclipses. But specifically for you guys, Libras, you are going to see the impact here. Now, you have to also understand that as the month progresses, Mars will move into the first house for you folks, and thereby Mars, Rahu, and Jupiter are going to come in trine. The good part is that Jupiter is going to be in trine and is going to be in the ninth house placement when this lunar eclipse is happening for you folks. And therefore, what I believe is that if there is right amount of guidance available for you, if there is a right amount of input available for you, some sort of mentorship, your bosses, superiors, they are giving any kind of suggestions, my humble request to you would be comply to them. Do not get into argumentative situations. Take that feedback and work with respect to that thought process, because it is going to enable a smoother transition through the course of this transit, through the course of September. Yes, Rahu is bound to give you illusions. Rahu is giving an aspect to your Lagna, to your first house. It is going to make you think big. But unless and until there have been certain activities, actions, project that you've planned through the course of the last few weeks, last few months, and it is just an execution on those timelines, on those pre-planned activities, I would still be okay. But new start is what I would want to avoid. Now, many of the people would tell you that lunar eclipse means a new beginning, a new start, coming fresh out of something. It's like shedding your own skin. Folks, I would prefer not to hit rock bottom and then bounce back. I would prefer that we recuperate earlier, before hitting rock bottom, and that is where my recommendation and thought process is coming from. Now, as we move further, what I see is that Saturn is in a retrograde position, and it is going to get into deeper retrograde through the course of this month, especially when Sun is bang opposite to it, which is middle of the month of September all the way to the mid of October. That retrogression will be very deep and difficult to handle. And yes, he's a yoga planet for you folks, but what you will realize is that at the end of the day, it does have some malefic effects. I've done so many readings, folks, where I've seen Libra people struggle with the dasha antardasha of Saturn itself. Even though it is a yogarika planet, still it brings a lot of turbulences into the lives of the people. So do not be surprised if that sort of a shocker is given, and thereby be skeptical, be cognizant of what is happening around it. Yes, Saturn is in your sixth house. It's a difficult house placement, so a malefic placed in the sixth house is a good situation to be in. But we have to remember, in retrogression, planets get into highest amount of cheshta bal. The ability or the intent of the planet to do is much more. It means it will require you to do rework, work a lot, pivot, repivot, and see what can be done better. And keeping that in mind, uh, it will help you put up a strong fight against the obstacles that are coming your way. There could be health related challenges as well, which you could face, but it will help you put together a fight against those problems. But the aspects of Saturns are not going to be that satisfying. It is giving a third aspect into the eighth house, a retrograded aspect, which is going to be very difficult in terms of your relationships, business partnerships, associations from a market standpoint, and it can be turbulent on that front. Again, because it is the aspect into the eighth in a retrograded form, there could be sudden surprises, confusion that could come in your relationship. So please be prepared to handle those kind of situations. It's giving a retrograded aspect to your 12th house as well. So there is definitely a chance of you benefiting to a certain degree with foreign collaborations. If you are in an import export industry, if you are in the health related domain, if you are related to far distance collaboration, either travel or international projects and stuff like that. A lot of you who come to me, I see that you do remote work for faraway organizations. So from all those areas, it is decent, but at the same time, it is going to bring in the impact of certain losses that could be triggered against your wishes, against your goals. So be prepared around that as well. And then a retrograded aspect into your third, which means that within this period of deep retrogression, there will be this sense of whether or not I need to put all this hard work. You'll start questioning your efforts itself, and somewhere or the other, the intent to stick with that might be questioned. Important bit for you is to the third house, you're also getting an aspect from Jupiter. It is your third lord as well as your sixth lord where Saturn is placed. So Jupiter is going to give you the right sense. He's placed in the ninth house as well. So that's a good placement from a house perspective, albeit not get from a Gemini sign standpoint. But Jupiter will give you that prompt that continue to work hard. Mars is placed in your 12th house. He's bang opposite to Saturn, but he is giving a fourth aspect to your third house itself. So Mars is also going to give that push. So you like it or not, whilst your interest, whilst your mind in itself might not be motivated to push through the situation, you will be forced, given the external circumstances, to address those problems. Like it will be hard for you to avoid those situations. That laziness, if it is creeping in, guys, you have to figure out a way to fight that laziness as well. Now, since we are talking about Mars in the first half of the month, we'll be giving an aspect to your sixth house as well as seventh house. Now, yes, it gives you the ability to overcome your enemies, overcome the challenges and problems, which is a good bit, but it also creates high temper, high tension issues against your partners, against your business partnerships, business connections, your spouse, your better half. So, there will definitely be turbulences in the marriage front, on the partnership front, which I was alluding earlier to as well, with the retrograded aspect of Saturn into the eighth. So that impact is going to collude and it is going to bother you to a certain extent. So please be prepared to navigate that. Jupiter on the other side is placed in your ninth house. He's trying to Rahu and your first house. So the aspect is coming to your first, third, and your fifth. Thereby, any kind of illusion, any kind of crazy approach that Rahu might prompt you to take. I would repeat myself here that the presence of a guiding factor, a torch bearer, an astrologer, a mentor, a teacher, your boss, your fatherly figures, anybody of that sort, their guidance is going to be fundamentally positive for you, because they are going to help you conquest the desires that Rahu is going to be weaving in, the ambition that Rahu is going to be weaving in. And that is great. I don't have any issue around it. But given the two eclipses in this month, I would want you to draw that caution and take, careful steps as you proceed further. Again, in the first half of the month, you have Venus placed in your 10th house. He's the lord of your 8th and your first. So it's a pretty important planet for you guys. And you have to understand that the 8th lord coming into the 10th is tying into the lunar eclipse story that we were talking about, with moon getting into the eclipse in your 5th house. And now Venus, the lord of surprises, coming into the 10th. There will be definite complications that could come at your work front, at your in your business, in your job as such. And this will be mind boggling for your emotions, for your mental health as well. It's giving an aspect towards the 4th house, and the 4th lord is retrograded as well. So you see, a lot of things are tying in together. So don't be surprised if you find that people are trying to create some complexities for you at your work front. They are challenging you, but you have to remain calm, and you will be forced to work hard, because at the end of the day, Venus is your first lord as well. So all your attention, drive, momentum will be focused towards your karma. You would want to take initiatives. People will be struggling with respect to job related matters, but you will be required to continue to maintain your momentum on that front. Whilst that is happening, you will find that your 11th lord is in the 11th house itself, in conjunction with your 9th lord and your 12th lord Mercury, and with Ketu. Now, whilst it is a good position for Sun to be in the 11th house, I like that position. But the problem that I see is, guys, Sun's conjunction with Ketu is not a kind one. It is not going to make things easy for you. And the amount of, or the magnitude of outcome that you could have anticipated in a normal circumstance is definitely going to see a hit. And I have been repeating this for everybody. It's not that Libras, I'm giving something scary story around just for you guys. It's a challenge. It's a month of eclipses. Sun is going through that turbulence whilst being in close conjunction with Ketu through the course of this period in the first half of the month. And therefore, you have to realize that there is no compromise against the efforts that you will have to put. There is no compromise against the control in communication that you have to maintain. Yet, you will be required to make travel, both long distance and short distance. Travels will be fruitful for you. So continue to do that. There could be certain losses, but eventually they will result into good outcome. Why? Because eventually Mercury will move into its sign of exaltation in the second half of the month. But in the first half of the month, which is what I was alluding to, Mercury, being the lord of the 12th, is coming into 12 places away from itself. So it means that any kind of foreign collaborations, any kind of international travel, any kind of import export related issues, health related things, they are going to deliver positive outcomes for you. You will also see that people might strategize against you behind your back. You might not be aware, yet it will not result into any kind of losses for you on that front. But as we move into the second half of the month, what happens is that your Venus becomes conjunct with Ketu, whilst Sun along with Mercury will be now coming into the 12th house. Now, of course, 12th house Sun, not a great position to be in. 11th Lord is going second to itself into the house of expenses and losses. The Lord of 12th is getting exalted there and then giving a debilitated aspect into your 6th house. Now, this is going to be one of the most crucial period for you. Whilst you will be battling out things, there will be definite problems that would be coming in through unexpected sources, unexpected situations arising at your work front. Whether you are a student preparing for any kind of competitive examination, you are a person who is dealing with loans, litigations, job related issues, concerns around all those matters, this is going to be challenging period. Mercury is giving a debilitated aspect. Sun will be bang opposite to Saturn at this point in time. Saturn will be getting into its deepest point of retrogression, and Venus, which is your first lord and your eighth lord, will be sitting in conjunction in the 11th house. That is good placement, but in conjunction with Ketu. So you see, the gains or the plans that you are trying to materialize, they will not be easy to fulfill. The thought process that you have in terms of finding success may not be translating in the way that you've planned for. So that will be difficult. Expenses will definitely be on the rise. The gains that whatever you've made, they will result into either investments or some kind of losses. And that is why, guys, one of the proactive remedies that you have to plan for this month is go ahead and donate something, do some charitable activity. Even if it is like feeding food to the dogs, stray dogs, street dogs, anything that you can think of, any kind of animals, people who are struggling with any kind of diseases. You can support people through medicine, through in a monetary fashion, or if nothing of that sort, do some labor, physical labor to help people. It is going to go a long way. It is a difficult situation coming in your 12th house, so you have to be prepared to tackle that. And at the same time, what happens is that by this time, Mars would have moved into your first house, is your seventh and second lord. Now, Mars being the second lord, 11 places away into the 12th house, would have resulted into some kind of gains for you if they were made in the form of investments. But right now, what you will realize is that one, frustration is going to mount, anger is going to mount. You are going to be full of aggression during this point in time, and you have to channelize this aggression in the form of assertion. See, situation from the external factors is going to be difficult, guys. It's not going to be easy. And under such circumstances, it is important that you address those situations in the most positive fashion possible. So, when Mars is in the Lagna, you will be energized, you will be hyper driven, but you have to keep a check on your aggression as well. Your family would be providing utmost support to the highest degree, but somewhere or the other, you will choose to dump your frustration towards your family, towards your life partner, or even your business partner. That may not be a great idea, but they will still like to stick around and help you. If that continues, I would want you to remember that Mars placement in the first is giving an aspect towards your eighth house as well, which means this is going to be a time of self reflection, introspection, research. This could be a time where you can prepare yourself to dig something deep, because Mars already is, like, along with Saturn, a significator of the eighth house, so it is going to be crucial. And this Mars will also be giving an aspect, an exalted aspect towards your fourth. So you will be very driven, motivated to grow, to find some success. But at the same time, on the flip side of things, this could reflect in aggression towards the family, as I was calling out. And you might just, spell out words which you don't really mean. And that can be detrimental for the overall environment at your place as well. This will be also bringing an opportunity for many of you to make investments into real estates, any kind of significant purchases with respect to real estates, vehicles, car, automobile, anything of that sort could be coming into picture. If that is happening, well, that connects the dots well with the expenses or the spending that is coming your way. So that is on the positive side of things with the same 12th and 12th house placements as well as Lagna placements. However, you might not be very satisfied with the pricey acquisitions that you might make. There will be some degree of dissatisfaction to that as well. All in all, this is an interesting month. I would want you to remember that the solar eclipse is happening on 21st of September in your 12th house itself. That is also the point of time when Saturn gets deeply retrograded. It will continue in that fashion all the way till October. So this is going to be a period where any kind of spiritual inclination, spiritual connection is going to be very helpful. It is going to soothe you. Whatever god, whatever religion, whatever methodology that you want to follow in terms of connecting with your higher self, it is going to be suitable. You might have some lack of sleep as well, guys. If I have not prompted this earlier, I would warn, please do not be staring towards the lunar or the solar eclipse at during the dates that I've called out. It is not a great thing to happen. And yes, there is going to be some confusion with respect to health, some health scare that could also come into play for you guys, Libras, because of the solar eclipse in and around that period, all the way towards October as well. So just take greater care of yourself, of your body, mind, and soul. And I hope Shivji blesses you to navigate this thing smoothly. If you've enjoyed and liked the effort that I've put in terms of the thought process, I will humbly request you to please smash on that like button, subscribe to Dev Astrology, and keep watching. Har Mahadev.